I cracked the code to make a man fall in love. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a man fall deeply in love with you, the secret wiring, the secret code, the secret mechanisms that unlock his feelings of passion, attraction, love, and devotion for you to be your man, to be your hero, protector, provider without a man pulling away, losing interest, rejecting you, or potentially falling out of love with you. I'm Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man, and for over 20 years combined with my wife Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to attract a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with the man they want. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's begin with what are the fundamental principles of masculine-feminine polarity. So the law of polarity states that opposite energies attract. And this means that the only thing that creates strong attraction, chemistry, devotion, and passion long-term in a relationship is masculine and feminine polarity. So here are some analogies to help expand on where masculine energy and feminine energy are coming from to help you understand the origins of these powerful dynamics so you can create the relationship of your dreams and the relationship you desire with your man. So the first analogy is dancing, partner dancing. So in dancing, the masculine is the leader and guides the dance. The feminine is the follow and responds to his leadership. So what are some traits of a man leading well in a dance? Well, the masculine is leading and guiding for his pleasure and for her pleasure. He's protecting his partner during the dance. He's keeping the tempo and the pace. He's creating the structure and holding the frame for the dance. He sets expectations. He provides firmness and control, and he holds space and maintains the connection. The feminine in the dance is following his lead and responding. She's matching his tempo and pace, walking away from the dance if she doesn't enjoy it. She expresses herself uniquely in the dance as well. She trusts his leadership. She speaks up if it's not working for her, and she only accepts dances with men she wants to dance with. So that's the first analogy. The next powerful analogy here is sex. So in sex, the masculine is penetrating, and we're talking about healthy consensual sex here. The masculine is penetrating and the feminine is receiving. So what are some energies of the masculine that is expressed through sex? It is penetration, we talked about. It's giving pleasure and sperm in the sense of sexual intercourse, which is provision from the masculine. It is strength and firmness. It is leading and guiding. Now, the feminine in sex is receiving, is vulnerable, is being rather than doing, is soft, warm, and open, and is responding and enjoying. So I'm just planting some seeds here, so to speak, to give you some perspectives that we're going to use later on how to actually incorporate these energies and these elements into your relationship and to your connections with men, to have him fall in love and devote himself to you and be insanely attracted to you. So the next powerful analogy is fertilization. So in fertilization, the masculine is the sperm, the feminine energy is represented by the egg. The masculine energy in fertilization is initiating, it's chasing and pursuing, fighting and competing with other sperm, is chosen by the egg, and has a set focused goal and follows it to completion to achieve the outcome, which is fertilization. In the feminine, as the egg is signaling to the sperm, there's actually chemicals that are released by the egg that help guide the sperm towards the egg. So the egg is signaling, it's receptive, it is being rather than doing, it is open and available, it is highly selective about which sperm it allows in. It's high value, and it is a prize in this situation, and it is detached from the outcome. The next powerful analogy, the fourth one, is ancient times. So in ancient times, what were the roles of the masculine and the feminine? In ancient times, the masculine role was the hunter, protector, provider, and hero. The masculine energy was protecting the tribe, leading his family and tribe, building the shelter, hunting for food, providing for his family and his tribe, expanding territory, exploring and conquering, allocating resources, and killing in war and dying if needed. Now, the feminine energy in ancient times was the nurturer, connector, and gatherer. So the feminine was birthing and nurturing children, gathering and preparing food and resources, maintaining family and intertribal relationships and alliances, was sharing issues and problems with her man as they came up, was respecting, appreciating, trusting, and admiring her man, and was supporting her man and her family/tribe. So those are the roles in ancient times, as another powerful analogy. The next analogy, the fifth one, is male and female bodies. So what can we actually learn to help you in your relationship and to help you with connection with men about male and female bodies and how they're actually structured, which is kind of interesting to look at and think about. So general physical traits. The masculine energy in the physical body is more angular with an externally focused penis and testicles. The feminine is more curvy with an internally focused vagina. So what can we learn from this? Well, the masculine, because it's more externally focused, is more status driven. It's penetrating / giving. It's direct. It's hardness. It's boundaries. It's a stronger frame, and it's more functioning. The feminine energy, based on principles of the masculine and feminine bodies, is more connection driven, because it's more internally focused, is receiving, is indirect, is softness, is openness, and it is vulnerability. And beauty, of course. The masculine is function, the feminine is more of the beauty. Now, the next element of how our bodies are different, the masculine and feminine bodies, is the masculine has more muscle mass and a higher bone density. Feminine has less muscle mass and a lower bone density. So the masculine energy here is more oriented towards protection, competition, domination, aggression, firmness, building, and war. The feminine is quite the opposite of that, is being protected, is more focused on and oriented towards cooperation, submission, gentleness, softness, decorating, and peace. Really the polar opposites of a lot of the masculine energies, which is why we call it polarity. The next interesting insight into how our male and female bodies are structured is typically, in general, a lot of these principles are in general, right? In general, the masculine is taller, the feminine is shorter. Now, what can we learn from this? We can learn about masculine and feminine energies from this. So then, with the masculine being taller, that can bring out more traits such as vision, awareness, planning, protection, again. And the feminine being more oriented towards integration, connection to nature, nurturing, and support. So just some interesting insights to start thinking about so we can start to put all these things together very shortly. The next powerful analogy is the head and the heart. There's an old saying that the masculine is, the man is the head, the woman is the neck. I actually prefer this analogy, the head and the heart. The man is the head, or the masculine is the head, the feminine is the heart. Some can also call this the left brain and the right brain. They're very similar, but I like to use the heart and the body. So the masculine is the head, the feminine is the heart / body. So as the head, what are masculine energies associated with that? Thinking focused. The masculine is directive, problem solving, logical, single focused, linear, planning, visioning, and goal setting. The feminine is more feeling focused, intuitive, sharing emotions, problems, and issues, is more creative, is more multi-focused and holistic, is more connected, more spontaneous, more rhythmic, and more sensual. So using these principles now, how can we pull it all together to identify how can a man become more masculine? Let's talk about men first. So using these principles, if we were to pull it together, what can you actually do as a man to become more masculine and create a polarity on his end? Well, a man in the masculine is being a competent, respectable, admirable, and trustworthy leader. He is leading her and guiding things forward for his pleasure and for her pleasure. He's protecting himself, his woman, his family, and his tribe well. He's setting the tempo and pace for your relationship. He's creating the structure for the relationship and holding the frame. He's setting expectations for the relationship. So again, all these principles we've looked at, some of the fundamental roots of where masculine and feminine polarity comes from, we're now integrating into how a man can actually apply some of these things. He's setting expectations in the relationship. He's providing strength, firmness, and control for the relationship. He's holding space for her and her emotions. He's penetrating her physically and energetically with his presence and attention. He's giving her happiness and provision. He's maintaining the connection in the relationship, like in a dance. He's being willing to initiate, chase, and pursue her if needed. He's also willing to fight and compete with others if needed. He's creating new visions / goals and pursuing them to completion with a singular focus to achieve those outcomes. He's building and maintaining your home community environment. He's hunting for and creating new resources, money, and wealth. He's expanding his territory, exploring and conquering. He's allocating resources effectively. He's being willing to kill and die for his woman or his family or his tribe if needed. He's being aware of the external world around him and increasing his status. He's being physically strong and trained, setting boundaries with himself and others, using thinking and logic to solve problems, and creating new plans, structures, routines, and organization for his life and for your relationship and for your family. Now we move into how can a woman become more feminine using these principles we've talked about. First thing is to be a trusting, respectful, and appreciative follow to his leadership, like in a dance. Fully receiving his guidance, gifts, protection, and provision, being open to receive. Matching his tempo and pace that he sets for the relationship, being willing to signal and speak up quickly and often to share your feelings, desires, needs, and problems respectfully, being willing to walk away from a situation or an entire relationship with him if he's not leading you competently, expressing yourself uniquely in the relationship as well, only accepting interactions with men that you want to interact with, being receptive, soft, warm, and open with him, enjoying the process and letting go of the outcome, focusing on being rather than doing, being vulnerable and exposing your true self and your heart to him regularly, set boundaries with yourself when needed, signal to a man when you are interested in connecting with him, be highly selective of who you allow into your energy and your space, be high value and be the prize by knowing your worth, birth and nurture children, again, doesn't get more feminine than that, maintaining family and social relationships, support your man and your family / friends / community, cooperating with him, your family, and your friends, bringing more peace and gentleness to the relationship, being around and connecting to nature and your senses more, practicing nurturing your feminine intuition, expanding your creativity and artistic abilities, being more spontaneous and trusting the rhythms of your body, practicing being more multi-focused, adaptable, and holistic. So, at its core essence, so you can really start integrating this, at its core essence, masculinity is about leading, giving, and protecting. At its core essence, femininity is about following, receiving, and being vulnerable. Here's some other ways of how polar opposites attract between a man and woman, between the masculine and feminine energies. Using what we talked about so far, the masculine leads, the feminine follows. The masculine gives, the feminine receives. The masculine protects, the feminine is vulnerable. The masculine gets outcomes, the feminine enjoys the process. The masculine thinks, the feminine's feeling. The masculine is hard, the feminine is soft. The masculine desires to be trusted and respected, like in a dance. The feminine desires to be adored and cherished. The masculine hunts, the feminine attracts. The masculine is logical, the feminine is intuitive. And the masculine solves problems, the feminine shares problems. The masculine is mental, the feminine is more sensual. So using all this, you can start to integrate into yourself the traits, the energies of femininity to start unlocking a man's heart. Now, the other thing through this training is to realize where you may have been in your masculine more in the relationship, because we have both of these energies inside us, but it's looking at which energy are you primarily leading from with your man in your relationship, and where have you been more in your masculine energy versus the feminine energy, to start to draw out and attract him being your protector, provider, hero, him being in more his healthy masculinity and leading well and giving and providing and doing things to make you happy. So the only thing needed now is to pull all of this together with magnetic feminine communication so that you can actually use this effectively with a man that you want. So we'll show you exactly what to say and do to make him fully desire you and inspire him to want to become your protector, provider, and hero in your specific situation. So to get this, take our free Magnetize Your Man quiz now by clicking on the special link in the comments or description below this video, or you can go to our website now at magnetizeyourman.com. So much love, hope this was helpful, and look forward to showing you those additional powerful secrets there and talking more to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.